Lots going in the shop today. Why don't you come hang out with me, won't you? Getting a little crazy around here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 Fronius machines. So these are the latest two. These are both MIG TIG stick. That is the Transsteel 2200, Transsteel 2700. I've got this one hooked up and working right now. Still waiting on a power cord for that one there. Videos on all of them will be coming soon. Trust me, I've seen all your posts, all your requests. You guys have been asking about price point and features and all that stuff. I will be doing specific videos for all 5 of these machines for Fronius, and then I'll be just doing odds and end videos in between or before, after, whatever. So you'll see plenty from these machines, so stay tuned for that. It's been pretty busy around the shop, that's why you haven't seen much from me. Went to NHRA race, got to hang out in the Mac Tools pit. That was awesome.
Fun coming back to Charlotte. We're happy to be here. We're running this 4-wide out here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying.
And I've been kind of waiting on parts for this thing. So getting close, got to finish up the exhaust, which we're doing today, and boost controller. Waiting on the boost controller. I got it, just got to finish it. So I'm waiting to get that finished. And then after that, it's just kind of odds and ends stuff, just some cosmetic stuff. It'll be ready, it'll be done. Hopefully this exhaust will quieten it down a good bit, a little bit less race car. Alright, I'm sure some of you at this point are like, why on earth did he get slip fit connections but then welded them? Well, when I started basically hunting for stainless steel to make this exhaust, I'm kind of looking for a builder kit. You know, I was just going to try to get like 2 U-bends, 245s, some straight pieces. Sometimes you can get a builder kit like that, then you kind of cut it up and weld it together the way you want it to. Most of the builder kits were super expensive except for this one. It already had the Xpipe already made. Everything else was slip fit on it. You could basically put it all together. Had clamps that came with it. Clamp it all up and you're ready to go. So, cost and speed, because doing it this way is a lot faster. You know, when you have a slip fit and the weld joint is out here on the outside, you don't technically need to back purge it. You know, it's not going to really have much exposure to any oxygen on the back side of that weld. So I could slip it together the way I wanted to, tack it up, fit it under the car, then put it on the bench, weld it up, and I was ready to go. So from basically the Xpipe back, it's fully welded. From the Xpipe forward, will be fully welded, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave the slip fit right here on the Xpipe and utilize those clamps that came with the kit just to make it easier to kind of make sure it always fits. Sometimes when you put heat in these things, they'll move around, and so it'll just make it easier for me to take it on and off basically. The rest of the tubing on this will be butt jointed, TIG welded, and so I will have to back purge it. But for now, this section is done. 3-inch stainless steel, Dynamax Ultra Flows, ready to rock and roll, or halfway there. Alright, so I got the back half of the exhaust done from the Xpipe back, all welded, ready to go. What I want to do is I want to solid mount that in the car. I know you don't normally solid mount stuff. I like to do that. Kids at home, don't do that. Rubber mount everything. You have trouble if you don't. So anyway, I want to solid mount it, and then it's gonna basically be detachable from right in front of the Xpipe. Those two tubes that go back up to the down pipes now will be separate. I'll be able to take them loose if I need to. Pull the motor, tranny. The back half of the exhaust can stay and not have to be removed. This is a little easier that way. It's a little easier to make the system that way, and it's a little bit easier to put it in and out, take it in and out. You can take the backs, loose separately. You can take the front loose separately, and it just makes it a little bit easier. And then you don't have the issues too with your exhaust kind of banging on your drive shaft. A lot of times when you have rubber mounted stuff and you kind of hit a bump or whatever, if it's pretty close, if you got it tucked up in there tight, which I want it, sometimes you have issues with it bouncing off the drive shaft and whatnot. So I didn't want that. Gonna solid mount it. But let's crawl into the car. I got my nice light that I did on last Friday's Friday Fool. We're gonna get in there and hopefully we can see this. Alright, so there you go. You can kind of see the front half of the X. Just gonna have these buckles that I can basically loosen up, take the front tubes out, and then from the Xpipe back, it will be all solid mounted. So I'm just working on that now. I'm gonna make some mounts for this thing, get it all mounted, and then I can start making the front half of this piece. The only thing I don't have is the V-bands to finish it up. I ordered some V-bands, but they don't match, so I had to order a second set. Alright, so everything's basically done. Got the Xpipe, the back half already welded, mufflers on it, they're hanging. Got some brackets kind of temporarily tacked in. What I'll do is I'll pull that section out, weld those brackets in permanently, and then I can bolt it back where it needs to be. The front half of the tubes, well, shoot, just lost my light. Alright, I think we're good now. So the front half of the tubes, I've done a little bit different than the back half. So the back half with this particular kit, and this kit I got online, I got on Amazon, mainly because it was very affordable, and I felt like it could be the fastest kit to put together. So the back half was slip fit. I welded everything up. Didn't back purge, just try to minimize the amount of heat I put into it. That way I wouldn't have any crystallization on the inside of the second tube. And because it was kind of overlapped, I didn't feel like there was going to be an issue as far as welding those. The front half of the kit is not like that. Everything is butt welded. So you can see these seams. Just got them kind of tacked on right now. Same thing with this one. Everything's just tacked on, everything's butt welded. So for these tubes, I will have to back purge. So I'm gonna set up my back purge setup, little tin foil on each end to kind of contain the argon. Get these welded up, and then put everything back in. Hopefully we can hear it tonight. All right, so I think we're done. We're really close to done. I got a couple little things I need to tie up, but the exhaust is on, all buttoned up, mounted, secured, cleaned, whatever you want to call it. Let me give you a quick look. Hopefully you can see this. Just let me grab my trusty light. So you can see right off the down pipes, comes down. On the driver's side, it kind of has to kick around the transmission member a little bit. Passenger side is pretty straight. Right back to the Xpipe. And then all the way back to the mufflers. Now we just got to fire it up, see what it sounds like. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tripod here. Find a good spot for you. Alright, so there you go. There's your Vantage. Gonna fire this thing up, give it a couple revs, let it idle a little bit. I think it'll actually be a little bit quieter than it is right now. I just got the mufflers just straight open out the back, so I'm probably gonna do some kind of turn down / turn out style bends at the end, which kind of deflect the noise just a little bit and won't make it as loud. So anyway, it's fired up. Cross your fingers. It don't sound like a logging truck. And we want it to be quiet. That's the key. Pretty happy with that. Still kind of loud, but not obnoxious. This sounds like just about every other Mustang out there. Actually sounds like you can hear. Sounds like the water pump may be over the exhaust. Or maybe it's the alternator. Whatever it is, it's louder than the exhaust is. Man, something's a little fat. Alright guys, there you go, the exhaust on the Goose. It's done, finally. Check it off the list. It took me way longer than I wanted it to, but I want to do it right. I want to do it once, and I'm there. Stainless, nice, quiet. Get it on the ground, it should even sound a little bit better. Obviously, you'll see more of this car, but that's it. 2 weeks. Man, you don't see me in 2 weeks. Alright, that's all I got for you. As always, thank you for joining me. Go do work, son.